Hi everyone, it's Linda from Linda's Ease. Ready to celebrate the 4th of July? I certainly am. I have so many wonderful things to show you today. I've got a little time constraint, so I'm going to try and get it all in. If I talk a little fast, you'll just have to go back and slow it down. I am really glad to be here. I have not only a wonderful surprise for you on these great pricing that we have on some of our sewing machines, but I have something I've been wanting to share with you for a long time, and that's to really talk about our Sew Club. It has been so successful. We've had it for many years. It's changed throughout the years, and now we do a lot of videos. We are very proactive with filming it in our store, and not just in our studio, but in our store. And I brought one of the projects we did from last month's video that Cindy, one of our instructors, did. It was just, she did 3 or 4 little kind of hostess gifts that would be very simple for someone to make. Mine is going to be like a little quilt square, and yet it's going to be something very appropriate for the 4th of July. And I would like to share it with you because I want you to see what we do in these sew clubs and why they are really so fun. You want to be able, I can't tell you how many of my customers have come to me recently and have said, Linda, I truly have not been sewing since COVID. Now that's been quite a while. That's 4 years. And I still see that. I see a lot of people that got out of the habit of it. They just haven't had the energy or the urge to do something. They need inspiration. So I'm hoping that this will give you a little bit of inspiration. And if you need more, come to our 4th of July sale because it will inspire. You can't even imagine what's going on over there. It's kind of nice to be here in a quiet studio right now because it's chaos over there. So before I get into that, let me talk a little bit about the machine. I actually did this project that I'm going to show you that you could quickly whip up. If this is, July 4th, I know everybody's busy going to picnics and whatever. This didn't take me more than 20 minutes to make a couple of them. And I do this so often for hostess gifts. If I'm going out to lunch, I'm going to somebody's house, I'm going to the fireworks, I got a whole stack of them all ready to be made. And I did all of that sewing, like I said, on this beautiful machine. This is it's really a top-of-the-line machine. Many of you know that we've come out with a 990, which is just a beautiful machine. But there are some of you that already have this machine. Some of you that are looking for the 990 as your big machine, and you're going to use this as your second machine. Many of our customers have second homes. They use this in one home and their other machine in another. There's many reasons for this. And I just want to give you a couple of the really great features why I love this 790 Pro. It has, first of all, a laser, a pinpoint laser. So anytime I'm sewing, if I want to do this little coaster that I'm going to show you here, and I did them all with Tilda fabrics, which is really a beautiful fabric. I'll explain that when I go over to show you the demonstration. But say you want to go right up to the corner, you can put your laser on and it will show you exactly where the needle is going to go. So there's no guessing. Well, there's so many things in this new book. I wanted you to be aware of it. Some of my favorite features, of course, when you look at this particular machine, you're going to see that there's a placement and morphing, which is just fabulous. You see how they're doing that with the little stylist here? Very easy to do. And then the new align and distribute design, so you can move them anywhere you want, all in one line, or you can synchronize them to go in different areas. You can do the create with joy with your lettering. Again, that is just really a multi-line lettering that can be aligned. That is huge. That's something that I think many people have been looking for. But you can probably see it right on this brochure, more than you can even on the machine right now with these cameras. But this little laser pinpoint is just a huge feature on the machine. Then we have the new Wi-Fi and the Bernina Stitch Out app, which is just an important thing, and the new needle threader. I was just threading this. I was changing threads before when I was in the studio. I always like to try out things first. Every single time when I change any thread, boom, It absolutely threaded perfectly. So you're in for a real treat when that happens with your machine. And then, of course, we have a whole slew of things that I'm not going to get into about the machine, but you've got that beautiful, beautiful stitch quality that is so important with the Bernina. Then I want to show you what's coming. I'm so excited about it. This is the full version of their software, their Embroidery Software 9. It's the Designer Plus. It's about $2,500. There's also an online course on this software. This is so heavy, Nikki. I don't even know if I can lift it. It's so big. And this is a great big box. And this is a limited amount that we have with it. There is so much in here. I can't believe how heavy that is. A whole entire big, heavy slew of embroidery threads. And you can never have enough embroidery threads, ever. I have 2 big walls in my studio at home of embroidery threads, and these are the boxes that I use. And every one of them is filled, and I am constantly running out because I sew a lot. I do a lot of embroidery. So this is replenishable. There's lots of stabilizers. There's all of your tearaway tapes. Oh, the designs. It's got the big book of embroidery, which I think everybody should have in their stash because there's so much information in there about the embroidery techniques. Of course, we do a lot of this in our videos, but look at this. Isn't that just stunning what they've done? And then all the different types of stabilizers, and then a whole big collection. Well, there's 1, 2, 3, there's 9 collections from OESD. So you really have a wonderful, wonderful box of this. And I'm going to kind of slide this over because it is so big, and we'll just get it out of here. Now, that's not all. You would like some more, right? Not only is that coming with this special package, but there's 2 big pieces of luggage, one for the embroidery unit and one for the machine. And every bit of that, plus this slide-on table, all of the feet, accessories, every foot imaginable that you would need to use for your sewing is coming with it, all at our 4th of July sale price. And if you can't make it, you're out of town or whatever, give us a call, and we have a whole staff that mans the phones, and they'll be more than happy to help you with pricing and get that machine into your hands. So let's step over to the ironing board because I want to show you this little project that I think is so fun. You know, many of you, that this is my favorite ironing system in the whole world. It's the Laura Star. And I haven't heard if it's on sale, but I think it will be because everything in our store is on sale on the 4th of July. And again, it did start yesterday and it goes through the Sunday after the 4th. So I would encourage you highly to come in and see what we're talking about because it's some really wonderful things. We're going to start first with the Tilda charm packs. I love, 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 love Tilda. She's just a wonderful designer from Norway. We are very privileged to be one of her largest suppliers of fabrics. We carry all of her lines, anything new that has come out. And I've taken a real liking to the charm packs. They're fun just to, if you want to do a real quick quilt, if you want to do some half square triangles, they're real easy to put together. And what I've done with this, and actually, you know, this isn't anything new. We've shown this before. Cindy had a really cute idea. What she did, she doesn't use it as a wine coaster. She puts the Thinsulate in these little packages, and then she uses it as a cup holder. You can see here, I have one that's already been done. And it's, if I have real hot coffee in here or hot tea, it will never damage the wood or anything because there's something called insulate that we put inside. When I give these out as a hostess gift, I'll take 2, maybe 4 of these, and I will wrap that up and I'll just hand it to as a hostess gift when I come in. And almost always I will leave it open here. And the reason I've left this little square open, and I'll show you how to do that, is because, let me walk around the iron here. If you are working with a wine glass, my wine glass is not full of wine, it's full of 4th of July glitter, which I think is really fun. But you can see what I've done. There's an opening in the center, and I put the glass in here. And not only is it to make sure that the wine doesn't, or the condensation doesn't ruin your furniture, it also gives you an idea of what the color is, so that if this is I know it's my wine glass, because you know how many times you set a glass down and then you wonder, oh, was that mine or was that hers or who is it? So this will also help do that. Plus, it's very, very safe for your furniture. So let's get back to the quick little steps, because I think you'll love seeing these. And I believe that they have actually filmed this from our Sew Club. And those of you that aren't Sew Club members, you're getting just a little taste of what we do in there. And what is Thinsulate? It's this little piece right here. You see how I've cut it into, your charm packs are 5 inches. And I've cut these into the Thinsulate into 5-inch squares. Then I've taken a piece of one of her charm packs and put it on the bottom and another one on the top. And what is so great about this, I mean, how many, be honest, how many have never worked with a charm pack before? A few of you, right? You probably didn't even know what to do with them. Well, this is just one of the real easy, quick things that you can do that will just make your life so fun when you're going anywhere, if you're going out to lunch with some girlfriends, if you're going to breakfast, if you're going anywhere, teacher gifts, if you're going to a doctor's office and you have a favorite nurse. I cannot tell you how much this means to them when you give them something like this, because it's something you've done that's personal. So what I do, I take 4, I can count them out. I take 4 of these little pieces of the charm pack, and you just can randomly take them out like I've done here. Let me open it up and show you. And I took the blues and reds. They were kind of blues and reds, and you can see how I've got all a theme kind of going on for 4th of July, but it could be for any time of the year. And you could just take any one that you want. They're so beautiful. They blend together so well that you really wouldn't even have to choose the color. You can just blindly pull them. And so I take 4 for the top and then 2 for the bottom. So you'll need 6 pieces, 6 of these little 5-inch charm packs. Then I take the Thinsulate that I've cut into the 5-inch squares, and you see I have a whole bunch of them here that I've cut up. Do that real quickly. Use your Quilter Select ruler, which I'll tell you, when I'm cutting the big pieces, I use this one. But when I'm cutting the smaller pieces, then I use the smaller because it's easier to handle. And then what you do is you take your 2 pieces and put them, see, I've got them all arranged already. And this is the piece that's going to show on the bottom. The one that's on the top is actually going to be on the bottom, because we're going to turn this inside out once we've sewn these together. And I'll show you how to do that in a second. But let's start the way that I've done here. I start with 1 piece like this. And I've a little trick, and the reason I brought the iron over here, I make probably 30 or 40 of these at one time. They're so quick and so easy. I'll spend an hour and I've got at least 30 of them done. And you can finger press if you're only doing 1 or 2, and that's an easy thing to do with that little stylus. You can use, you know, the by Annie, and you can finger press it across here, but you've got to be a little careful because this is on the bias. So now I'm going to take that, and I just take my Laura Star, and do not use steam. Remember the steam that we use when we press like this and it comes out real strong? I turn my steam off. I just do not touch this at all, and I just press it, and I just go all the way down the line and press these little half square triangles. And then see how they're all nicely pressed and ready to go. And then you go right around the square. So you see what you've got, 1 here. You see you've put that 1 here. You're going to start with the next one, which is whatever color you want. You can put them in any color range that you would like. Then I'm going to go to the 3rd one, but now we've got a 4th one. What are we going to do with that? See how we've got 3 on here? Well, we don't want this whole piece showing as a half square triangle. So this is the fun part. You just slip it right in there, and now you have the 4 colors. Isn't that cool? And that's all you do. Then you take your trusty little clips, which I think are the most important part of this. I wouldn't be without these. And I know Cindy uses some tape, but you know, whatever works for you guys. But this for me is the best. I just take that little tape with the flat part on the bottom, and I do the same thing over here on all 4 corners. And that's all you have to do, is do the 4 corners, because you're going to actually sew around these corners. You're going to do a straight stitch around them. You clip them, and you're ready to go. Then you take it over to the sewing machine, and you sew around the corners. And I left this open because that's the turning point. We're going to turn it open, and that's why I said the bottom of this, of your piece, like here, I've got another one ready to go. This is the bottom that's sticking up on the top of the thinsulate. And this looks like it's the top, but this is actually going to be the bottom of the little coaster. So again, I've stitched all the way around. I use my 1/4 inch foot. I know on the machine today I had the regular zigzag foot, and because Bernina has such great stitch quality, you probably could get away with it. I also have the 9mm stitch plate on there. When I'm doing this at home, I change to my straight stitch plate, and I change to my 1/4 inch foot, and I go right up to the edge where those 1/4 inches are marked. You see, on this particular one, I took my this particular machine, I was doing this on my 720. I have a 725mm, which has now just been replaced with a gorgeous red quilted machine called a 735. It's not out yet. We saw it. We sewed on it. I want one. Can I tell you why? It's got that 5mm stitch, and it's just a great little machine for class and for piecing. So I changed this this plate and that plate at home to a straight stitch plate, and then I put my 1/4 inch foot on. I go around. You have a needle down. You put your laser on. You can see it perfectly. Go around. You've got the straight stitching, and then the next most important thing, and this is really, really, really important, is what? Can you tell me? What am I doing? I'm clipping the corners. Very, very important that you go and clip these corners. Just go around and do them all. And then the next most important thing is to clip into the corner so that you've got, for turning, this thing will turn perfectly. So you see how I'm clipping on each side? And if somehow you weren't real accurate with your stitching, you could trim off a little bit of the edge. Most of these are very accurate, so it's not hard to do. But this clipping is really important. And this little scissor, it's a Karen Buckley, and it's really a great one for stitching. And do you like my 4th of July Ginger scissors? I collect these whenever they have a new one coming out. And then what I'm going to do, because I've got this open now, I'm going to turn it and look at what my bottom is going to look like on the bottom of this coaster. It's got kind of a reddish color. And I'm just going to turn it inside out. And then I'm going to take my tube turner, and it really is a wonderful thing. Look at how I'm getting into that corner. Look at that. And see how I'm getting into this corner? Same way with this one. Real easy to do. I know we have some wood turners too, but these are just so much easier, and they just work so much better. Make sure they're nice and flat, and then you want to take it to the machine. And again, this time you could use the steam. And you know why I didn't use steam before when I was doing these little half square pressings? Because what did I say? That's on the bias, and if you use steam, it's going to stretch it all out. Whereas if you just either use your finger, you have to be careful though with your finger. I just line them all up and I just press like this, up and down, and it's so simple, and it just works so well. And then I just give them a good press here, a good press on the bottom. Then I check and make sure those corners are really good. And you can see the next thing that I do is I stitch around the outside. And I use my 1/4 inch foot, and that's all I have to do. I don't have to do anything else. And I always leave this open, even if I'm not giving it if I'm giving it to somebody who's not a wine drinker, who is just going to be using it for coffee or tea or hot drinks, because of the fact it is, you could stitch it down if you don't ever want it for a drink holder, but I think for the coffee and everything, it's just really a really nice look, just really pretty. It's got different colors on the back, and look at how fun they turned out. You can see I've got my little basket full of, these are all ready to go. We've got all kinds of different colors in here. And again, some of them were randomly done. Whoops, that one I missed the bottom. Some of them were, that was kind of random, but I still think it's kind of fun. And I did the checker on the bottom here. So anyway, there's just a lot of fun things. And if you decide to use these little charm packs, I'm going to use these for a Southwestern theme. I think they're really fun. They're in the kind of golds and oranges and the turquoise, and they just look real pretty. But look at the buttons that she just came out with. They're tilde buttons, and they would be so fun on a blanket or on a, just a little wall hanging. I'm sure you can use your imaginations and get there. So again, I hope this has inspired you a little. This was just one of 3 or 4 projects that we did in our last Sew Club. And what we're trying to do is make sure that you know how simple this is to do and how easy and how fun. So thanks so much, everyone. I hope to see you on today sometime on the 4th. And if not, hopefully next week, myself or Debbie, who's been doing a wonderful job on these videos too, we're sharing them so we can have giving you lots of content. See you next week. Thanks, everyone.